Hello, this is RICKY, the YouTube Tech Guy. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Mobile Weekly / Mobile Q&A, where we go over all latest news that happened in the week of mobile and answer your questions live. If you are new to the show, just start asking your questions in the comment section down below, and I will answer it before the end of the show. Alright, now time to get on one of the biggest news, and that is a rumor that's going all around Reddit. People are going crazy over it, and I'm going to tell you the truth. So, let's go over the rumor. The rumor currently going on is in Reddit, there has been this person, that has basically said that he has heard from both Verizon and Samsung channels, a Samsung employee at Best Buy, that August 24th, the day after the announcement, the phone will go on sale. No, it's not. What's going to happen is that is most likely the date where you're already going to start seeing a live device in stores. Just to give you an idea, there's a couple of things wrong with his theory. First, Samsung employees in the US are getting it this upcoming week. So the week before the announcement typically is when Samsung employees get the phone, they get it, and they're going to be getting it this week, and they're going to be learning about it, all that kind of stuff, so they don't even have it yet. So this Best Buy employee that they're saying, or a Samsung person that works at Best Buy, doesn't know what he's talking about, first of all. Second of all, that person doesn't even work for Samsung. They work for a third-party marketing company. So they're not an actual Samsung employee. But again, this person in Reddit might not know this. But that's what's actually happening. The live devices are coming this month on the 24th of August, it looks like. And then again, pre-orders will start on September 1st. And then the launch will go in the US and in Korea September 15th. Like I've been saying for about 2 months. Been 2 months now? Yeah, it's been 2 months. So that is what's actually happening with the Note 8. I just wanted to give that clarification because I saw this blowing up on Reddit, and I saw 2 people message me privately about it, and so I was like, you know what, I have to bring this up and just kind of clear the room. This is what's actually happening. So yeah, it is not, I followed the Reddit thread and everything, and yeah, it's, again, Reddit is obviously anonymous. He doesn't need to cite sources or anything of that sort. So that's why he can say that, and then yeah. So there you go. All right. Now, in other news, we finally get the first word. I know someone in the chat is going to be very happy about this. We finally get the first news about the new Gear Smartwatch. The new Gear Smartwatch has finally shown up through FCC as the Gear Sport wearable. Now, here's the thing with this. It does not look like they're going to make a classic version, at least not this time, or at this time. Maybe they're going to save the classic version for a later release, but at this time, they are only going to have a sport variant. They're also going to have a Gear Fit Pro. So you're going to have more pro stuff, not more pro stuff. Instead of a direct Gear S4, you're going to actually have a Gear watch that is geared towards sports stuff only. And you're seeing this trend of more fitness things because Samsung's wearables shot up. I think they went from like 6th place in wearables because they had a dead year for where they didn't have a new watch for 6 months. And because of that now, though, they've shot up all the way till I think it was number 3rd place when it comes to wearables now. 4th place when it comes to wearables, 3rd place when it comes to smartwatches. Because Xiaomi is now number 3 in Xiaomi is now number 1 wearables, followed by Fitbit, then followed by Apple in terms of wearables, and Apple's still the number 1 selling smartwatch. So that's how the wearables landscape has changed over the past year. So really big when it comes to that, but it does look like we're finally getting confirmation that there is going to be a new Gear Smartwatch at this upcoming launch. Again, things only pass through FCC when they're getting ready to launch. So this will be at the announcement now on August 23rd, which is again next Tuesday. LG V30 sends out their official announcement, so you can see, again, it's all about the camera, as we talked about last week, earlier this week, I should say, that the LG V30 is going to have the lowest aperture ever on a mainstream camera, f1.6, and if it has the image processor and glass to back it up, it could very well have a better camera than all other smartphones currently coming out in this fall release schedule. So very interested in that. Very interested to see if this can do as good of photography as I hope it will. Speaking of Fitbit, as we talked about earlier with wearables, this looks like their final press leak for their new watch. So I think it's, what was the last one called? The Blaze, a Blaze Fit or something along those lines. So I don't follow Fitbit too much. I know they had some issues with inaccuracies when it comes to steps and GPS tracking and everything. I always did like the accuracy of the Gear series from Samsung. I will say they have very accuracy. Some watches are not meant to have accuracy. Review is coming up on this week about the Fossil watch, but some do not have good step accuracy at all. So it depends on the product. But I'm really curious to see how Fitbit will react this year now that Xiaomi is now the #1 in wearables. It's really interesting to see how this is going about. And finally, I always like to talk about this as VR gets more mainstream, because I think that's the goal of VR, is instead of to be so niche, to be more mainstream. So it looks like Samsung is going to help broadcast Coldplay's tour in virtual reality. So they've actually set a date and time, and you can actually watch this tour, or this concert rather, live in 360 like you're there. You don't have to pay for anything. It's completely free. So that is really cool. This one is going to be on August 17th at 8:30 p.m. Central Time. So it's a really cool thing. I mean, I might check it out at 6:30 for me on the 17th. When is the 17th? 17th is 17th is, I can't see the date. I can't see it, but yeah, 17th is a certain basically. I want to say it's Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursday. So Thursday is when it's going to happen. Pretty interesting to see right there how it's going to come about. Definitely interested in that. All right, now that we're done with the news, not too much news this week, as we did cover some stuff during the week. So always when that happens, I kind of feel like I lose out a little bit of some of the news that goes on. All right, but we have lots of questions going on in the comment section. Again, if you have a question you would like to ask, just ask it in the comment section down below, and I will answer it before the end of the show. On your opinion, should you pre-order the Note 8 through the carrier or through Samsung? What the big deal about benchmark score on the Note 8? I don't really understand the big deal about it. Explain simple ways possible. Thanks. Okay, so first of all, David, should you order through the carrier or through Samsung? Well, Samsung never had their own pre-ordering thing before till this past time. This was the past time when actually they did have their own pre-ordering thing, and they had their own discount only if you pre-ordered through Samsung. Those were the AKG headphones that like sold out like that. I don't know if Samsung will do something like that this time around. I'd be very interested to see that, but yeah, I'm gonna check it out. I'll let you know if they give a really good discount on it. That would be great, but I'm very curious to see how that goes about. Overall, very curious to see how Samsung does this, but I will let you know that on August 23rd, once we get everything announced, then I'll be able to tell you guys, oh, this is how you should order it by doing this, this, and this. Now, what's the deal with benchmark scores? I have not seen. I know the Note 8 had benchmark leaks this week. I didn't really pay too much attention to them. But here's the thing. With benchmark scores, it depends on which benchmark one you're going with, right? So there's Geekbench, there's Antutu, There's what do you call it? 3D bench. There is there's like 4 or 5 different benchmark tests. They're all different ones, and they all run different things. Some only run processors, some run graphics cards, some run the entire phone, some run RAM, some run the processor, some run the battery. So all of these run differently. Now, the ones that leaked, I believe, were Geekbench, which runs the processor, which doesn't really matter because it's the same processor that's on the last phone, on the S8. So you shouldn't really see that much of a difference. If you did, it might be, again, software tweaks, but that's about it. So I don't see that much of a big deal of whatever the results were. Again, I didn't look it up, just because I didn't care if it was Geekbench, because we've already seen that Geekbench, and that's on the S8. It should be about the same. If it's slightly higher or slightly lower, it's a one-time bench, and if it's higher, it doesn't matter. It's a one-time bench again, and at the most, it could be software tweaks. How do you feel about the iPhone 8 being able to take 4K 60 FPS video through the front and rear cameras? Meanwhile, the Note 8 can only shoot 2K. I do not believe it will be able to. The reason why they're betting on this for the new iPhone is because of the fact that with the new iPhone, you have the new video format that Apple is using that is a really good format. And it's their own personal format. And with this format, you're able to save bigger, better quality videos, but because of how you're encoding it, you can actually make it still great quality, but with less storage space. Now, that is a feat of great technology on Apple's part. Google did something like this, but it hasn't been adopted as much as well. So again, it's always competing formats. You know, most people, I would say, shoot, you know, an MOV, MJPEG, or the main one is AVC HD, which goes. There's a lot of different formats, really. Because now I'm just thinking, I'm like, no, well, this one shoots in this format, this one shoots in this format. Phones typically shoot in similar formats, but in terms of in terms of how editing is done and all this kind of stuff, there's so many that comes out. Like After Effects usually spits out AVI as a default. So there's so many different ones. But do I think that Apple will do it? No, I don't think so. Especially not in the front camera. You have to understand that Apple right now only shoots 1080p with the front camera. So for it to not only go 1080p at 60 FPS, but also do 4K at 60 FPS, first of all, the front camera doesn't have stabilization. So 60 FPS would look horrible without stabilization. So that wouldn't be good regardless. If you record on the OnePlus 5, again, without stabilization, it's not going to do good with 60 FPS. So I don't think it's definitely going to be on the front camera. Could it be on the rear camera? That is a possibility. And again, that would be a big feat for Apple to be the first to do. However, will that be with the front camera? No, I completely doubt that. I will be shocked if it happens. I will do my roundup of Apple, what I believe, like how I did with the Note 8. What do I believe my final Note 8 predictions? I will do that for the iPhone in about 2 weeks as it creeps towards September, because we're getting the announcement towards later September. So yeah, that's what's going to happen. LG V30 is hype. It could very well be hype. I mean, don't get me wrong. LG has never made the biggest wow factor phone that blew customers away, obviously, because look at their sales, right? But if they come with the right phone, if they come with the right marketing, maybe LG can at least make a bigger impact. Yeah, I don't understand what the big deal is with benchmark score on the Note 8. The iPhone Geekbench multi-core should be around 10,000. Again, I don't know what the Note 8 scored, but iPhone typically scores better on Geekbench because processor-wise, Apple does very well. So usually on Geekbench, the Snapdragons never do amazingly well. I mean, usually. Again, I don't know what the score was on the Note 8, so I want to preface that. What's going on, Rick? Hope married life is treating you well. It is treating me very well. When do you think we can be expecting Samsung's new smartwatch? Well, if you looked at the top of the show, we talked about the new watch will be on the announcement date August 23rd. And is there a change that they are keeping under wraps for the Note 8? Possibly, but we do not know, at least not yet. I mean, again, I'll know pretty much most stuff by next week, but yeah, what I'll tell you guys, what I can't tell you guys, I'll see. Next Apple announcement date. The next Apple announcement date. So there's a lot of debate actually on the next iPhone launch date, because a lot of reviewers are actually talking about it being early September again. And why is this? Well, because every iPhone has been early September, and now these experts, not like actual tech experts, mind you, but industry experts that, you know, are in, you know, whatever, that say they're tech expert, that say they're industry experts, say, oh, Apple's right on schedule, they're coming out this month, everything's coming out this month. Everything I've heard says on the contrary, but again, you know, they have sources, I have sources, we all have sources. Which sources are right, I was saying. Again, at the top of the show, we talked about this guy on Reddit saying a Samsung employee, which is not a Samsung employee, and a Verizon person told him, oh, the Note 8 is coming out August 24th. Again, there is a significance in the August 24th date. That is when live devices will show up to the stores to demo and see, but that is not the date when you're going to get the actual phones for sale. So that is how things can be misinterpreted. So right now, people are leaning more towards like, oh, Apple's going to do the announcement on the 5th or the 12th, and then it's going to come out the 22nd or the 29th. I don't believe so. I believe that the announcement will be on the 27th, and it'll come out on the 6th. This has been on my website for 2 weeks now, so if you go to youtube.techguide.com, you've actually seen the exact dates that I've predicted for a while now on both the iPhone and on the Note. So you can check those out right then and there if you want to see that. All right. What's going on? Oh, why Verizon though? Why Verizon? Oh, Verizon employees said it. I don't know why the Verizon employee talked to him. Probably because they have those like little Verizon booths inside of Best Buy. So I'm guessing that's where the Reddit person works. What color will the Note 8 be in? And the iPhone 8 and the iPhone X. So for the iPhone, we've pretty much gotten black, silver, and like a rose gold style phone. For the Note 8, we are getting black, silver, and deep blue. And what was the other color? Silver, black, deep blue, and I believe orchid gray still. There, it's 4 colors, but only 3 will come to the US, just like the S8 Plus did. Should I be concerned about security on Android, tablet, or phone? No more than any other electronic device you have. Any electronic device you have, if it has internet, it can be hacked. Any of them. So no more than any other device, no. Yeah. Will the launch of the Note 8 cause any price drop of the S8? Usually doesn't happen as soon as the Note 8 is announced. Usually it happens when the Note 8 comes out, but you're going to start seeing more and more sales on the S8 leading up to the announcement. And after the announcement, there will still be sales. I just don't know if it's going to be the best sales. To be quite honest, the best sales will probably be for the S8, Black Friday, and towards the holidays. That is when Samsung does crazy discounts, and they use it on the year's S series. So that is probably the best discounts you're going to be able to get. But they're going to have some good discounts when the Note 8 comes out. Gear S4, we talked about at the beginning of the show. Whoa, whole bunch of questions. So, do you like that the Note 8 deep blue color will come to phone carriers? I hope it will come to phone carriers. That's what I've heard. So yeah, I can't wait for that. What is the most protective case you would recommend for the S8 Plus? If you're talking about the most protective, I still think the best protection overall would have to go to OtterBox. I think they're just the best kind of protection overall. There's some great other ones. I mean, you have Tech 21 military grade drop, same with Incipio. And then what's the body glove too is another really good one. They have like the helmet, you know, same thing NFL players use. So there's a lot of good ones. It just depends on what you want to go with. Sport Gear S4, or sorry, Sport Gear 4. Where is it at? It's going to be announced with the with the Note 8. I'm excited about the new Gear Smartwatch. I am too. Cellular capability of the next Apple Watch. So here's another thing where I differ between the experts on the next Apple Watch. A lot of the experts have said the next Apple Watch is going to be announced with the iPhone announcement. I do not believe that to be the case. I believe Apple has a tradition about having a announcement in late October, early November. You can check it out. They've had one for the past 3 years. This is where they've announced last year they did the MacBooks. The year before that they did the iPad Pro when it first came out 2 years ago. So there have been announcements and precedent for this. I believe that is when the Apple Watch will be announced with cellular capability. It will happen this year, but that's when I believe it will be announced. Now, other experts are saying that, oh, well, that's just when it's going to be released instead, which is a possibility. It could just be released late October or late November, kind of like how the first Apple Watch, if you remember, it was announced like in the beginning of the year. I think it was February when the Apple Watch was announced. Or no. It was announced actually at that event with the iPad Pro, if I'm not mistaken. The first iPad Pro launch, or was that even I think that was 3 years ago when the Apple Watch was announced for the first time. So yeah, it was 3 years ago. So at the same October event, or November, at that time it was a November event. And in November, they announced the Apple Watch, and then it came out that March. So obviously there was a huge time span between the announcement and the launch. So big time span there, but again, you kind of saw what it was happening. Kind of like how this year, Apple announced their HomePod in June, and it's not going to come out till November, December. So you get an idea of how it works. And I think actually, at that event, at the November-October event, they're going to talk about all the HomePod's features, since we haven't really seen how many demonstrations it can really do, and that's what I believe they're going to do at that event as well. How can Android user video call or FaceTime with an iPhone user? The simplest way would be using Google Duo. That would be probably the simplest way. It's also the safest way because it's encrypted on both sides. So basically, if all they have to do is download the app. Both of you download the app. Both of you put in your phone number, and then you can actually video chat with them. Just that simple. Another way is Hangouts. Hangouts, my preferred way. Anytime I video chat with anyone, it's generally through Hangouts. So Hangouts is like FaceTime and iMessage put together. You can actually instant message through there and video chat through there. And you can do it on any OS. It doesn't matter if it's on Windows, doesn't matter if it's on Android, doesn't matter if it's on iOS, doesn't matter if it's on a Mac. You can hang out with anyone at the same time, and you can chat with them on there, and you can video chat with them on there. The cool thing about Hangouts, though, that I feel is the best one, is that you can do it with multiple people at the same time. I know like FaceTime has been on the verge of getting this a couple of times, but basically it's just so great because you can have a group chat. So I can, talk to 5-10 people at the same time, and we're all in the same hangout, talking to each other. And basically, whoever talks switches the camera to them on your phone. So whoever's talking at the time, the camera switches to them. So that's how it works. I think he was talking about me with the Gear S, lol. I forgot who, but someone's asked me every single week about the Gear Watch. So I think that was going to make, I knew that was going to make someone happy. What is the difference between USB Type-C and micro USB? What does Type-C cost more? Why does Type-C cost more? So there is a lot of different variations of Type-C. That's the thing. The most popular one supports Thunderbolt. So if you're getting a Type-C, you want it to support Thunderbolt. What this means is this Type-C cable is able to actually charge bigger products, such as a laptop or a iPad Pro, or a pass through the capability of not only charging, but charging and sending a video signal. So you can plug this one Type-C connection from a laptop into a monitor, and it's charging while also the monitor is displaying what's on the laptop at the same time. So one cable is doing both. The reason why Type-C costs more is because it's so much more versatile than USB. It's also a much faster version of micro USB. Micro USB was generally 2.0 related USB. Type-C is all type USB 3.1. So it's a much faster signal. It can do more. That's why it can actually charge while transferring video. And Type-C is just more versatile of a cable. It can do everything very simple and easily. So Type-C is the future of USB-A. I don't know if it'll ever completely go away, but USB-A is the standard USB. You know, this is USB-A, so that's the standard USB, and this is USB Type-C. The goal is to replace USB-A with Type-C everywhere. And what does that allow for? Well, it just allows for smaller components to then use USB C instead of A, so laptops can get thinner. All of these things can happen, and that is the future we're going to have. However, is it happening right now? No, it's a slow transition. That's why most people still want a laptop with USB Type-C, because not everything is ready, USB Type-A, because not everything is ready for USB Type-C. Ricky, do you use wireless charging for your S8 Plus or wired? I use wireless charging for all my overnight charging, and on my office desk right in front of me, I have a wireless charger, and I usually use it for the most part. But if I need to charge quickly right away, then I will use wired. Would you like to see iOS 11 video from you? When? I'm going to do iOS 11 when it's official. I don't want to switch my iPhone to the beta, because the current iPhone I have, the 7 Plus, I'm selling in 2 weeks. You know, as soon as I get the Note 8, I'm comparing to the iPhone 7 Plus and then selling my iPhone 7 Plus. And then once that's gone, as soon as I get the new iPhone, that's when I will do the full review on iOS 11. How can I use VR on the S8 Plus? You just buy the VR. You buy this and put your S8 in it, and then wear it. Use the controller, and there you go. Do you get better range with Bluetooth 5? You get much better range with Bluetooth 5 when we start getting Bluetooth 5 receivers. Right now, the S8 is one of the only phones to have Bluetooth 5.0. The problem is that there's no Bluetooth 5.0 speakers or headphones. So as soon as we get Bluetooth 5.0 speakers and headphones, you're talking about a 4 times range increase. So yeah, it's way further. Like, you'll be able to go upstairs without a problem in a 2-story house, and your Bluetooth is fine. That's really amazing. So yeah, we can't wait for that. Will the S7 Edge get Android O? I believe it will get Android O, but the S7 Edge probably won't get it till March. Will you be giving away one of your shirts? What are these shirts? Yeah. I just washed them. I mean, I washed them all. I guess I could. Here's the thing, though. I mean, the shirts are kind of big. So I got, again, I wear typically double XL, right? So I have double XL, which are really more like XL shirts. And then I have a triple XL, which is more like a double XL. So to make it simple, I have essentially I have 2 extra XL shirts and 2 extra double XL shirts. Would you guys want me to give those away? Because, I mean, those are the only sizes I have. I don't have all these different sizes. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are in the comments section. No iPhone 8 news? No real iPhone 8 news since we covered it last week. Will you be getting the Note 8 early? It looks like yes. I hope so. I'm excited. Love it. Is the PS Vita still a good buy? I don't think so. I think if you want a portable device, I think you're much better off getting a Nintendo Switch as a portable gaming console. It's going to have, newer games coming to it. No games are coming to the Vita really, as far as I know anymore. So I would switch to the Switch. LG will sadly not sell because their reputation and people either go for Apple or Samsung with the odd Pixel phone or Huawei. Yeah, it's definitely a possibility, Alex. That's a good insight. The Note 8 will have 120Hz display. That was on my predictions, yes. Did you see the Note 8 will have Force Touch? What is the purpose of it? It's just, you can already do a half press on Android. You've been able to do that for months. Ever since Android 7? Yeah. I'm like, which Android are we on right now? Ever since Android N, basically, with Nougat, you've been able to do a half press. So basically, if I half press this, I get a pop-up. If I half press this, I get a pop-up. Any of these you can. It's just going to be more feedback. That's all Force Touch is going to do. You can do that on apps too on Android. I mean, it's had that half press feature for a while now. It just hasn't been Force Touch because the motor isn't across the screen. Any word on discounts on the past Note 7's users? Again, no, there will not be any discounts for past Note 7 users. I know a lot of people heard that, but that was only in Korea last year. If you got a Note 7, you got $100 back if you stayed with Samsung, or you got $25 if you went to another phone company. But regardless, Samsung gave you something, and that's all they planned on giving you. Are the Apple AirPods selling good? Because I never see anyone with them on. Do you think they will have a redesign? I definitely think they will have a big redesign. I think, again, the Apple AirPods will be announced with the new Apple Watch. So that's, I think, will be a great pairing together with the HomePod, and late October, early November, you're going to see that announcement. But yeah, I think the Apple AirPods are selling actually good in Apple-centric locations. I know you said you haven't seen anyone with them on. Apple hasn't released figures for them, so they're not doing great. Just, obviously, if you don't know, anytime Apple isn't meeting their expectations and they know their shareholders will not like the expectations of how little they're selling, they don't announce the official numbers. They've never done it with the Apple Watch, and they've never done it with the AirPods. It's not that they're selling bad, but they're not selling to Apple standards, and that's what they want to hear, right? So yeah. What was I gonna say? What was the other thing? Oh, Ricky, benefits and drawbacks on rooting an Android device. Is it worth it? I would say for most people, it's not worth it, because why would you want to root it is my thing. The main benefit is to get rid of bloatware. The main downside is you have to be the one to manually update most of the software all the time. Anytime, again, this isn't a giant corporation that does this software. This is usually a guy or a small team that does all of this software. So that being said, you have to be the one to update it yourself manually most of the time. And if there's any bug fixes or anything like that, hey, until they fix it, you're stuck. So that's the downside of rooting. The upside also is that you get unlimited hotspot if you have unlimited data. So that's the other upside. Why won't the Galaxy 9 have a fingerprint scanner built into the display? So it will. I'm telling you right now, I 100% believe the S9 will have a fingerprint scanner built into the screen. Why people are saying that it won't is because these industry experts say, oh, the Note 9 is going to be the first one to have the fingerprint display on the screen. Samsung is no longer in a rush since Apple isn't doing it, so therefore they have held it off until the Note 9. These experts are quote-unquote experts. I don't consider them real experts. So no, I believe that the S9 will have a fingerprint scanner on the display. Rumors say the iPhone X will be limited supply at launch, creating hype or a real deal. Oh no, the iPhone X is going to be in limited supply. I've told you guys, if you do not get the iPhone X day one, you're waiting till November. I'm not exaggerating on that. You're waiting till November. That is how tight the limitations will be with this device. If the Note 8 explodes, which it probably won't, do you think that would be the death of the Note series? Yes, absolutely that would be the death of the Note series. I'm an Android user and quite jealous of Apple upcoming AR. It's so much more useful than VR. Then get an AR phone. Asus has an AR phone right now that is amazing. So does Lenovo. Both of these two companies have really great AR phones that can do a lot of cool stuff with AR. I don't see them as that appealing. The cool thing is if Apple really is bringing it to that small of a form factor, because currently AR phones are bigger to really do that great of a quality, but we'll have to wait and see. Do you use the video calling on your phone? If so, how does it work? How and who does it work with? It works with anyone that also has that video calling feature on the phone. So no iPhone users have that one. It's mainly on Androids because carriers can influence Android. So pretty much all new Androids for the past 2 years have that. And it's okay. It's not as good as Hangouts or Duo. Whoa, whole bunch of questions just loaded. Sorry, a lot of questions just loaded. Alright. Wireless charging won't be mainstream unless phone manufacturers include them in the package. I actually disagree. I think as soon as Apple does have this wireless charging on the iPhone X, I think you're going to see wireless charging blow up. Because as much as Samsung, look, say what you will about like, oh, Apple does, you know, the most hype. You have to hand it to Samsung. Samsung, with the help of IKEA, with the help of PowerMat, has made it so that furniture has wireless charging. Starbucks has wireless charging, and McDonald's has wireless charging at some locations. But as soon as Apple brings it, that's going to blow up even more. You're going to see every single coffee shop, McDonald's, you're going to see more restaurants have it. You're going to see more wireless charging at more locations because that's how you can charge your iPhone when you're there. And they get you to stay there. Moto Z Force is disappointing. I will tell you, I actually have it right over there. So I am going to review it and put it through its paces. So we'll see how the Moto Z Moto Z2 Force does. God, it's a long name. Of all your Note 8 predictions, what do you want to be wrong about besides battery size? What would I want to be wrong about besides battery size? 12 megapixel. If we can put a 13 megapixel camera on there, I think it would be even better. Yeah. Or the aperture being 1.6. Samsung bust out a 1.6 and a 2.0 on the zoom lens. That would be great. I sent you a tweet. Have you seen that before? Let's see what the tweet is. Oh yeah, the Samsung Active sports watch. Yeah. That was a tracker they had a little while back. They basically have had several of these. I haven't seen that specific model before, but they called it the Samsung Charm for a while. But yeah, it was like a tracker. Basically, it was like a Fitbit. That's the easy way to think of it. My sources are from Compton Swap Meet, and honestly, they don't know shit. I see. Timothy, that was awesome. Just like, honestly, they don't know shit. Just joined the stream. I'm an OG sub. Love your videos. Well, thank you, Caesar. I appreciate that. I love the new intro in your videos. Thank you for that. First initial of my son. Wait, what? First initial of my son and my name. Oh, someone asking. Oh, they're asking you what is that? Sorry. I know you guys have conversations sometimes, and I try to read through it without talking about your conversations. Hi, Miss Ricky. Note 8 is more than just a phone. It's life? I don't know. I don't know what you mean by that. Do you think the US model of the LG V30 will have a high quality DAC, and will the OLED display be good or better than the S8 or Note 8? I don't know if the OLED display will be better than the S8. Samsung is pretty much the king of small OLED, although LG obviously has the best OLED TVs on the market. I do believe that it will have a high quality DAC though. Why don't you just say this is the YouTube Tech Guy instead of RICKY? Because that's my phrase. That's my phrase, man. I've literally had people stop me and like, hey, it's RICKY, the YouTube. You know, it's like that's all. It's my catchphrase. Leave me alone. Sprint is getting rid of their S8 for under 300. Check out Slick Deals. That's a good plug, Alex. That's a really good deal if you want to be on Sprint. So, should I install security for Norton on my tablet or phone? I've never installed security from any security software company on my phones. They would slow the phone down to a crawl, and unless I am torrenting or doing stuff like that, I don't need to. Technology is moving so fast I can't seem to keep up. I buy a new product, it is out of date in a few years. What would ultimate phone be in your opinion? The ultimate phone would be, in my opinion, is one you never have to charge. If it could somehow have a way of charging that you never have to charge it, that would probably be the biggest thing. You have a camera with a 25 times zoom in it. You're saying the ultimate camera. I don't know how it'll work, but it has a 25 times zoom, never charging, and has a very wide camera on the front with a, raw capability, optical stabilization, 4K 60 FPS video recording. Yeah, sure, that would be the ultimate phone. Why don't Samsung put 3D face detection? Will the Note 8 have it? There's some rumors that the Note 8 will have 3D face detection. I think their iris scanner is just fine, but 3D face detection works with iris scanner, so it's not too far off. Not answering any political questions, especially with all the garbage that happened in Charlotte. Yeah. Thank you, Alex. Yeah, no politics. I don't know why people try to compare the iPhone to the Galaxy Note. It's impossible to put them in the same sentence. iPhone should be compared to the S8. I do think that's a much better comparison, yes. The Note FE is great. Coral blue. Do you think the Note 8 will have coral blue? No, the Note 8 will not be in coral blue. It will be in deep blue. It's a darker blue. Why is Snapchat continue to under-deliver expectations? Snapchat's going down, man. I just think Snapchat's done with, in my opinion. But that's just me. I think Snapchat is on its way out in the next 2 years now. Pixel camera has been ported to other devices, HDR plus capabilities. I just downloaded it, so we'll have to see if it makes a difference. Yeah, I don't know. I think Samsung does a really good job, but I'll check it out. I know people have asked me to check that out, so I will compare the Pixel camera to the S8's camera. Do you think Apple will go for USB Type-C? Yes, I believe Apple will get rid of their Lightning cable within the next 3 years, giving them time because it's Apple, and they will go to Type-C. Why? Because their MacBook Pros are already going towards it, their laptops are it. It just makes sense to them to go to Type-C. Now, the reason why they couldn't is because of the regulation. So that's the main thing. Apple can regulate Lightning because it's a proprietary plug. Type-C is not proprietary. So then people could use whatever kind of cable they want. How much regulation do they really have over Lightning now, though? That's another whole thing. Will there be a new iPhone, or will there be a new Apple Watch this year? Yes, it will be a new Apple Watch this year. I believe it will be released in November. What's up, Ricky? Any recommendation for Wi-Fi extenders? Wondering your thoughts on a set TV service. One great Wi-Fi extender is this one. I got TP-Link. This one's a really good one. This is the AC 750. AC 750 from TP-Link is one that I used for a long time. Loved it, but once I got my mesh router system from TP-Link, actually I didn't need these anymore. Do you think Samsung learned from the Note 7 and improve on the battery in the Note 8? Do I think Samsung learned from the Note 7 and will improve the battery on the Note 8? Yes, I do think they learned a lot from the Note 7 about batteries in general for the Note 8. The HTC U11 will get Bluetooth 5.0 in a future update. Yeah, Joshua, but there's a lot of things like it's not going to have really a lot of the features of Bluetooth 5.0 that came out after in clarifying, because they said that and they're like, and then people were like, wait a minute, but we looked at your coding and it doesn't. Oh well, you know, it's going to have Bluetooth 5.0, but it's not going to be every feature. I'm a XXL, medium, I'll take a shirt. So again, I mean, it just depends on the size of the shirts. I'll try to figure it out by next week what to do with the extra shirts. Whoa, whole bunch of questions flooded. My S8 lost all the apps icon. They're supposed to be where they're supposed to be help. I'm not sure exactly what you did. My recommendation would be to restart your phone in what's it called? Safe mode. Restart your phone in safe mode, and that should hopefully fix it. So it's an app you downloaded that did it. I don't know what it is. Though. Do you always put your icons in the same organization on every phone you get? Yes, I use Nova Launcher. And Nova Launcher allows me to import all of my home screen every time. So every time my home screen looks exactly like this, every time I switch a phone. Do you think the new Gear Smartwatch will have the same water resistance as the Apple Watch Series 2 and be able to handle swimming? I don't know if they will. I don't think so. I think it's mostly going to be in terms of how we've seen, right? So I think it's still going to be IP68, as in 5 feet for 30 minutes. I think that's what we're going to get. That was a good interpretation of how the experts talk. I know, right? Great accent while talking about the S9. Yeah, well, you know. That's hilarious. Why do carriers fill phones with crappy bloatware that no one uses? Because they're hoping at least 10% of their users will use it, and then they get money. I don't think the Note 8 will have stereo speakers. It takes up too much space, and the S Pen already takes up space. Samsung could at least have a hi-fi DAC. Samsung already put a hi-fi DAC with the S8. We're definitely getting that on the Note 8. Hey, Jimmy. Hey, from Orlando. How are you doing, man? Hopefully you're having fun out there. Tell some about the S Pen. I cannot say anything about the S Pen because I do not know any new features about it, but I'm very excited to learn them. Are you able to pre-order for a carrier that you will be getting once the phone comes out? Are you able to pre-order for a carrier that you will be getting once your phone comes out? You're going to be able to pre-order the Note 8 on September 1st. Hopefully that helps from carrier or from Samsung. Fingerprint readers only going... Fingerprint readers going the way of the dodo bird? No, I don't believe so. Fingerprint readers are going to come back next year with the built-in fingerprint scanner on the screen. So no, they're not going the way of the dodo bird. Ricky, do you think the Note 8 will let you take pictures and use the S Pen underwater? I tried taking pictures with the S8 Plus, couldn't. Actually, I can tell you for sure that yes, the Note 8 will be able to, because the S7 could. One of the greatest things about the Note series is that the pen allows you to work underwater, so you can actually still take pictures. Your fingers do not work underwater on a touchscreen, but the pen does. So you'll be actually able to take pictures while you're in water with the Note 8. You should ask Samsung to send you the $150,000 TV. Yeah, I don't know if they'll send me that. Hey, I'm not greedy. I'm not greedy. Samsung, I will gladly take a 75-inch TV from you. Not greedy. 75-inch TV, I will gladly take that, Samsung. Quite frankly, I might even take that from LG because their OLED displays are better in my opinion, but we'll see. Whoever sends me, I'll be happy. I'll unbox it. I'll do a whole video on it. Sure. Flux capacitor is the ultimate phone. There you go, Timothy. That's awesome. Do you know any good torrent sites? None that I could say legally. So you want a nuclear powered phone, big ass camera lens? Exactly. But one that won't kill you. By the way, did you get your invitation from Samsung? No, JGB Tech, I did not get my invitation from Samsung. Tragic, I know. Really sucks. And I think a lot of you guys did tell Samsung to send me there. But I do have some friends that'll be there, so hopefully I'll hear from them all the good news. You should replace your battery on the wall clock. I know, I really need to get a different... I'm going to end up changing the background just because of this damn clock. I'm going to have a picture hanging on in front of the clock at all times, I swear. What is your prediction on Note 8 sale? How much it'll cost, or how many sales it's going to have? It'll sell over 5 million phones the first month, definitely. I hope the new watch looks like the Gear S3 Frontier. I think it'll look more like that, yeah. When will the Galaxy X come out? The Galaxy X will probably be coming out next year with the Note 9. Do you think the Huawei Mate 10 will be a contender? Not in the US, definitely in China. What type of security do you use on your phones or tablets? I don't use any security on my phones or tablets. I don't need to. Again, you do not need security on your phones or tablets unless you're doing like a VPN or something like that. Yeah, sure, use a VPN. But that's about it. Would you recommend to charge your phone when it fell below 30 or 10%? You're supposed to do 30. It's supposed to stay between 30 and 80. That's your sweet spot. You have the best YouTube tech channel on the web. Thank you. Love it. Keep up the great work. Can't wait for Rigsby. Rigsby is going to be legendary, man. Rigsby, psh, best voice assistant in the world. Oh my god, I need to do a Rigsby t-shirt. Guys, I need to do a Rigsby t-shirt. That's going to sell out like crazy. That's going to be awesome. Who will buy a Rigsby t-shirt? I want to know. What's the point of rooting in Android? Everything is customizable. That's a great one too. I've listened to your advice about wireless versus charging cables, but I'm still so bad about it because I always miss the sweet spot on the charger. Get the ones that stand up. Those are a lot easier to hit the sweet spot than the ones that lay flat. What is the point of rooting in Android? Oh, yeah, I already read that. Have you heard about a set TV service thinking about cutting the cord? I'm actually preparing a video on that because I might be cutting the cord myself. I'll tell you right now, me and my wife are in between PlayStation Vue and DirecTV Now, and I'll go over all of the different things on why you should get which one. Do you think smartphone will be getting more expensive or not? Some smartphones will be getting more expensive, other ones won't. Any dream features of the Note 8? My biggest dream feature of the Note 8... My biggest dream feature would be a 4,000 milliamp battery. It's not going to happen, but, you know, that's it. People are OCD with the background. Yeah, I know. The background. Do you think the iPhone X Face ID will live up to the hype? I don't think so. I don't think so too. I don't think it's going to be as fast as people are thinking it will be. I think it's going to be slower than Touch ID, but we'll see. Again, Apple's first generation is never perfect. You know, look at Siri, look at Apple Maps. Their first generation stuff is never perfect, but it's an amazing concept. And that's what's always amazing about Apple's innovation, is that the concept of it's great, even if the execution isn't always perfect. Okay, a lot of people will buy Rigsby shirts. I guess I need to make a Rigsby shirt. Iris scanner will hurt my eyes with time. No, it won't. The iris scanner will not hurt your eyes over time. I'm currently on T-Mobile. I want to pre-order the Note 8 for AT&T. How would I go about doing that? You would go to AT&T or pre-order it through AT&T and do that. I would probably say the best thing to do is go to AT&T store the day you can pre-order on September 1st. I would cut the cord if my mom didn't use cable TV, lol. I'm pretty much a cord cutter with hacked Fire Stick and Kodi software. Yeah, my mother-in-law wants me to set her Kodi up. I like Netflix on steroids. It's like Netflix on steroids. Yeah, that's a big thing too. Just waiting for some sport channels. Yeah, I hear Kodi is really great for movies. TV is kind of hit or miss, but it depends. Yeah. All right, guys. I think we will call that a show. I know we're going for like an hour today, but I want to watch Game of Thrones. But yeah, guys, thank you for watching everything today. Definitely excited about a lot of stuff we have coming down the pipeline. Tomorrow, a lot of people have been doing this and people have been asking me to do one too. So I'm going to do the best back to school tech you can get, with really keeping in mind how I was as a student. Certain things I would spend money on, but a lot of things you do not need to spend money on. So kind of getting that all figured out. So do one of those, and yeah, I will hear more and more about the Note 8 as things come along, but I'll let you guys know. Alright guys, thank you again always so much for watching. Make sure to give a like, thumbs up before you leave. And lots of different stuff going on. Which will be your daily phone, the iPhone 8 and the Note 8? Cannot tell you which will be my daily phone because I do not know yet. It's going to be definitely a big thing. Alright guys, thank you again as always for watching. This has been RICKY, the YouTube Tech Guy. Thank you for watching our video. If you liked it, why don't you go ahead and subscribe up there. Make sure you follow us on social media right here. And of course, check out our latest video up there. And right down here, you're going to find the perfect video for you. Or at least that's what YouTube tells me. Thanks again.